Hola amigos, welcome back to Sonnie's Place. My name is Emma, and this morning I hopped in my car and drove down to Lebanon, Missouri to pick up our food. More specifically, our Cornish cross chickens and a new animal we're raising for the first time. Say hello to our turkeys. These are broad-breasted white. They're basically the equivalent of a Cornish cross chicken. Say hello. We got the meats. Chicken meats. A few years ago, we decided to take a more hands-on approach to sourcing our food. That includes growing a vegetable garden, raising chickens and ducks for eggs. I think we're ready to go. And more recently, raising chickens for meat. Today, we start the cycle again of raising our own food with these day-old chicks. While they're tiny now, these adorable little peeps will be ready to harvest in just 8 to 10 weeks' time. If you're looking to get started with meat chickens, this is a great breed to do that with. I want to take you along with me week by week as we raise them and share our successes and failures so that you can learn how to raise your very own chicken. There's a lot of information on the internet about raising chicks and about harvesting or butchering chickens. But I wanted to share the entire journey with you so you can see what it looks like to raise your own meat chickens, see their growth process, what it looks like to put them out on grass for the first time, and all the good and the bad that happens throughout that 8 to 10 week period. Let's start with the brooder setup. We've been expecting some pretty high temperatures in our area, which makes our usual brooder not so ideal. It's a nice sized insulated shed that stays fairly warm, but can overheat easily in these temperatures. But we need to be able to regulate the temperature and keep the space about 96 degrees so these chicks don't overheat. Thankfully, we have an insulated room in our shop with an AC unit we can use to keep the room at a comfortable temperature, and then use our Prima heat lamp from Premier One as our sole heat source for the chicks. I then set up a large tote as a temporary brooder in the room that'll keep the chicks in a safe, contained space. The tote actually serves as our chicken and duck ER when it's needed. I used it when our Lacey broke her leg last year, and more recently for one of our ducks that was attacked by a predator. This tote has come in quite handy. For the brooder, I like to use a nice layer of pine shavings and then add a board to control the spills for the waterers. Speaking of waterers, since we have a smaller space, I'm using 2 small waterers that I've added apple cider vinegar and honey to. This will give the chicks and poults a quick boost to their immune system after transport. As you can see, they were quite thirsty. For feed, I'm using this smaller metal trough with reel top to keep the chicks off the food. Say hello to Nug Nug. They still get in, but it hasn't gotten too messy so far. Well, looks like all of our peepers made it through the night. Good morning. The little peepers that I wasn't sure if they'd make it are looking pretty good. I can't even tell which ones were not feeling so great, and so yeah, so that's a good sign. Well, that's a relief. Good to know they made it through. I was really worried about them. All in all, a good morning. All of the chicks, poults, they're looking really great. I've even got some happy dogs back here. Hi, Sammy. So we're a week in, and the chicks and poults have grown quite a bit since we first brought them home.
It's so messy. Hello, silly turkeys. Silly turkeys.
In the past, I've usually lost 1 or 2 chicks by this time, and I'm really happy to say that we still have each and every one of them. Well, that's it for today and our first video of this weekly series. Thanks for following along, and I hope that you stay tuned for the next one as we cover the second week and monitor the progress and growth of our meat birds. My name is Emma from Sonnie's Place, encouraging you to grow your best life. Adios.